Florida Gators tight end commit Amir Jackson is going to change this offense around. We're going to talk about it here on Locked On Gators.
You are Locked On Gators, your daily podcast on the Florida Gators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Locked On Gators, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for making Locked On Gators your first listen of the day. We are available daily and free wherever you listen to podcasts. Happy Thursday. I'm Brandon Olsen. Find me on Twitter at WNS_Brandon. Find all my written work with Whole Nine Sports, Giants Country, NFL 33. And we're talking here about just Amir Jackson, because let me tell you, this kid is freaking good at football. Okay. He was the 2024 commit that kind of started this big stretch of commitments that Florida has gotten after Austin Simmons decided to flip and reclassify for Ole Miss. And then a few hours later was Amir Jackson. And it was like, okay, cool beans. Not as bad a day. And then, of course, things snowballed and Florida just started dominating recruiting. But Amir Jackson was the domino that fell, and he's also potentially the most, we'll say, impactful offensive commit not named DJ Lagway. Because, yes, right now, Amir Jackson, more of an athletic jump ball receiver than anything else. Clearly, he is a basketball player as well. He is an all-state basketball player that averaged a double-double with points, rebounds. But he is also just on the football field, just a straight-up jump ball winner. That's what he does consistently, and that's what he does, better than I think any high school tight end that I've seen play the game. And I know that this part's not super important right now, and I doubt that we will. I doubt we'll get these numbers until he's, an NFL draft candidate, if he's ever that. But his arms look insanely long. Like, he could be like Greg Dulcich from UCLA, who's now with the Denver Broncos, where it's like 6'4", but like a 6'8" wingspan. And he could just be one of those guys. Like, he looks like a basketball player right now. Plenty of room to grow. He's 6'4", I think 210, which is very light for a tight end. But again, he's an athlete, a jump ball guy. And of course, when you're playing basketball as well, you're not going to put on this insane weight and carry that insane weight consistently. Like that's you're going to lose that weight because you are constantly running. It's cardio. And speaking of running, dude's fast. Real Analytics, REEL Analytics on Twitter. They post awesome numbers about, this guy was running this mile per hour. Like, he topped out at this speed. Amir Jackson, 20 miles per hour, 6'4", 210 pounds, 20 miles per hour. That's ridiculous. Like, that is insane. There's a lot of NFL players who can't top 20 miles per hour. Okay, Amir Jackson can do it in high school. Granted, when he gains weight, that number might dip a little bit. It could increase a little bit if he trims baby fat, and just if he just trims baby fat, gets a little bit more, not in shape, because he's obviously very good in very good shape right now. But it could increase even a little bit. Maybe he improves his running form. Maybe he gets a little bit better with that. Also, this is just another bonkers part about that same play. It was on a reverse. He took the handoff or the toss on a reverse as a tight end, ran for a touchdown while topping 20 miles per hour on it. Okay, this kid is an unreal athlete. Unreal athlete that, like, Florida hasn't had since, I'm going to say it, Kyle Pitts at tight end. Okay, that's obviously not to say he's going to be Kyle Pitts. That'd be the dumbest thing I could say. He can be used the same way, but it'd be stupid to say he's going to be Kyle Pitts. But like, he's got great size already. He's a great athlete already, both in the terms of just straight speed and jump ball ability working vertically. Needs to add a little bit of weight to become an inline tight end right now. Because even when you watch his tape from last year, he shows the willingness to be a blocker. There's no doubt about his willingness to get down there and block. Like physicality is not an issue for him. How he played safety too. Like, he played defense that he was starting, and he had, I think it was like 75 tackles or something like, so he's fine getting physical. That's not the issue. For me, he shows willingness as a blocker. He's even effective as a blocker right now. However, he's not in the SEC right now, is he? No. He's going to get to the SEC eventually, and in that time, he's going to need to be a little bit, sturdier as a blocker, we'll say. And also, we're going to say this, and it's important to acknowledge this, he won't be on campus. Amir Jackson will not be in Gainesville for another 7 months minimum. At the absolute earliest, if he's an early enrollee, he'll be on campus in 7 months. 2 big notes about that. One, that is plenty of time for him to gain weight in those 7 months. 2, that is also plenty of time for him to gain weight from the time he gets on campus, if he arrives on campus in January, all the way through end of August, early September, depending on when week 1 is going to be for the Florida Gators next year, or game 1 next year for the Florida Gators. Plenty of time. And I say depending on when game 1 is going to be, because given how everything worked out with, the schedule and the new opponents, who really knows what's going to happen? Yes, Florida, Miami are set for August 31st. I'm not putting a single shred of faith in anybody. That I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. But if it's August 31st next year, then guess what? Amir Jackson has plenty of time from January when he gets on campus, if he's an early enrollee, until August 31st when Florida takes on Miami in week 1. So plenty of time to do that. And that's kind of what he really needs to do. Obviously, he needs to be more refined as a route runner. He kind of just out-athletes people and wins jump balls. But as far as can you contribute right away, I think he can if you treat him like how he should be treated. Like, use him like a lower level Kyle Pitts. Okay, like, he's not going to be able to shake defenders the way Kyle Pitts could, because he's going to need to work on that route running refinement. But he's still someone who you can use as a jump ball receiver, who you can just get the ball to and let him make plays, who you can just run up the seam and just go, hey, if you're playing cover 2, bye-bye, he's gone. You're not catching him. So Amir Jackson's one of those guys that can play right away, will play right away, and I think is going to change really the offense, like with just how he fits into this offensive system. It kind of shows what Florida's trending towards and how he can help get them there. We're about to talk about that. But first, today's episode of Locked On Gators is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. It's America's #1 sportsbook. And let me tell you, new customers, first off, get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app, sign up, safe, secure, super easy to use. I am also going to tell you that I have a new betting system where I'm betting on like the first plate appearance for a lot of guys. And I have to be honest with you, Nicky Lopez he is a superstar for me. Nicky Lopez, I bet that in his first at bat would walk yesterday, and he did, and it was beautiful. Beautiful. Plus 1,000 odds. Beautiful. Thanks, Nicky Lopez. Go to FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started and to learn more. Thanks again for making Locked On Gators your first listen of the day. We are available daily and free wherever you listen to podcasts. Now, we're sticking with Amir Jackson here and how he can contribute not just early, but also long-term, because that is a thing we obviously need to discuss. I think Amir Jackson gives the Florida Gators a legitimate flex option that they haven't really had since Pitts, and that I don't think they have someone on the roster that's going to be that same kind of guy. Like, I know this has been a thing a lot where people want to talk about Arlis Boardingham and call him Kyle Pitts and all that. He's not. It's plain and simple. He's just a different kind of receiver. Okay? He's a different kind of tight end. Amir Jackson gives you that kind of tight end. He gives you a legitimate flex option where, let's be real, I love Arlis Boardingham. We haven't seen him work out yet. He hasn't had the opportunity. We don't know if he's going to work out. And look, right now, your flex is who? It's like, who's your legitimate flex receiver? It was supposed to be Keon Zipperer, but two things. One, he's hurt, gonna miss the year. Two, solid, but he lacks the ideal size to be a true chess piece that you can use everywhere. Because you're looking for someone that you can put in line at tight end, that you can put in the slot flexed out, and you can put out wide if you need that. Zipperer is not that kind of guy that you can do consistently and rely on that production. Arlis Boardingham might be, but we have to see him put it together. Hopefully he stays healthy this year. And I will say that Billy Napier is always going to want to go 12 personnel, run the football a bunch, and make defenses pay that way. Like, this offense might not be looking to become a spread, air raid style, but I promise you, they're looking for the option to do that if they want to. Like, I think that Billy Napier's trying to put together a team right now where he can say, hey, we're going to go 12, heck, even 13 personnel for like 3 drives and just punch you in the mouth. And then we're going to come out with just fast. That's it. Just speed. And we're just going to outrun you the rest of the point there. And again, that's something that they want the option to do. Whether or not they do it, they want that possibility. They want to be able to do that. And as far as Amir Jackson goes, he's a huge piece of that puzzle. You have Amir Jackson, you have your tight end that you need for that. So you don't have to worry about that too much because you've got that question answered. Especially, imagine if Arlis Boardingham does work out, and then you've got Arlis and Amir Jackson in 2024, and probably even 2025. Good luck, defense. Like, if you're a linebacker, dog, just tap out because ain't nothing you're going to be able to do. And I know that I've said Amir Jackson can be Kyle Pitts. I'm not saying that, or I've said that he's going to be used like Kyle Pitts. I'm not saying he's going to become Kyle Pitts. But just based on what we know from previous visits with the Gators, whether with Amir Jackson, Caleb Odom, pretty much any other tight end, the Gators 100% have told Amir Jackson, hey, we want to use you like Kyle Pitts was used in Gainesville. And I mean, even watching what Amir Jackson did in high school, he was used in a similar way to Kyle Pitts, if not even just a little more wide receiver-y. You know, the screens that Amir Jackson caught in high school, the reverse that Amir Jackson ran, and I'm sure there were more, but the 20-mile-per-hour one. Stuff like that, that's how you use a guy like Kyle Pitts. I've been saying since before he was drafted, I was like, look, Kyle Pitts, I want to see him take handoffs in the NFL. Hasn't happened yet. Amir Jackson could do it at the college level for the Florida Gators. Okay? Like, he can do that. He can be used in that way. He can be just used as a creative playmaker on the offense. And, like, you can even see Billy Napier having fun using Amir Jackson. We complain, and by we, I just mean Florida Gators fans as a whole, not anybody particularly, about Billy Napier's offense. A lot. But imagine having Amir Jackson as the guy who does a bunch of things that you hate. Now, I'm not saying that, you need to like them now, but imagine having Amir Jackson as the motion man sometimes. Imagine having Amir Jackson as that jet motion guy sometimes. You're going to tell me that wouldn't be fun? watching 6'4" at the time, probably like 230, 240. You're telling me you wouldn't have a blast watching him do that? Maybe take the handoff. Maybe not. Maybe you throw the swing to him. Maybe not. Maybe you send him up the field. Maybe not. But you know what else helps with that? If you use Amir Jackson as the motion man, I think right now as a true, or 2024 as a true freshman, the biggest obstacle is probably going to be the strength for Amir Jackson. It's probably going to be, can you deal with these SEC defenders getting in your face, bumping you, and trying to throw you off track? Set him as the motion man, and that's not happening. Set him as the motion man, let him run deep, and just watch him run by defenders, 1. 2, go over defenders, and they can't get him. They can't press him because he's going in motion, and they're not going to have time to press him. So he gets to just get a clean release there, which is probably going to be a bit of an issue for him early on, is the physicality of the SEC. You want to use him early? That's how you do it. To wrap up today's show, we are talking about just Amir Jackson's fit, not with the scheme, not just what his skill set is. We're talking about how Amir Jackson fits in with the rest of this Florida Gators recruiting class right now on the offensive side of the ball. We're not talking too much defense here. But Amir Jackson gives you the pass-catching tight end that Florida did not bring in for the 2023 cycle. Again, I've said before, I count Tony Livingston as a 2023 addition because guess what? While he was, yes, a 2022 commit, he didn't get on campus until this past January. So Tony Livingston, to me, basically a 2023 kid. So Amir Jackson gives you the pass catcher tight end that Florida did not take in 2023 because the one tight end that I want to count for 2023 is Tony Livingston. He's more of a blocking type where he was going from offensive line down to tight end. And also, yeah, he did play basketball too. So you have another great athlete there. And I will say, I'm still, I don't want to say expecting. I would think that the Florida Gators, Billy Napier, Russ Callaway, are still going to try and add a more immediate inline guy for the tight end room somewhere along the way before the 2024 season starts. I think right now you look at what you have and you go, okay, you have Jonathan Odom's a good 2024 guy. We have Hayden Hanson's a good 2024 guy. Could be Tony Livingston. He could be the guy. You can look at a bunch of possibilities. None really have eligibility past 2025, 2026. You're going to have to address that position in 2024, I think. Also, Amir Jackson, he fits the theme of speed in this 2024 class. Amir Jackson fits the theme of speed for the Florida Gators 2024 class. This coaching staff, they're recruiting like they're playing NCAA 14. Just give me a mobile quarterback with a cannon. You got that in DJ Lagway. Give me speed at every position along the offense. Guess what? Amir Jackson at tight end. You got that. Cannon Daniels at running back. You got that. You look at the receiver room. Guess what they have there? Jere Hawkins and Isaiah Williams. They have speed. They're recruiting just like this is NCAA 14. It ain't difficult. But guess what? They're doing it in real life right in front of her. Just give me a mobile quarterback with a cannon. Give me speed at every position. And let's run these MFers off the field. That's the approach that Billy Napier and this coaching staff is just taking to recruiting in 2024. And you gotta love it. At least I love it. I don't know about you, but between Amir Jackson, Jere Hawkins, and Isaiah Williams, the Gators have added just speed demons as pass catchers for the 2024 recruiting class. And guess what? They ain't done yet. And again, that's not even including Cannon Daniels in the backfield. So this 2024 class offensively is, I think, better than people are giving it credit for. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, defense has been awesome. Offense, catch up. Offense, at least as far as quarterback, running back, receivers, tight end, so far pretty damn good. You got speed throughout. You have your quarterback, who, by the way, also tops over 20 miles per hour. and can throw a howitzer. He can throw the ball over them. Their mountains over there. Okay. So you've got everything there. You've got Amir Jackson, Jere Hawkins, Isaiah Williams can play multiple spots. They can move around. They can all be the motion men. They can all be the vertical man running deep. They can all take a handoff. They can all do all of the things. But guess what? They come in different sized packages. And that is a freaking nightmare if you're a defensive coordinator. Yeah, maybe it doesn't all happen in 2024, but 2025? 2025 is going to be different if you're a Florida Gators opponent because it's just I don't know how you really look at it and you go, oh, that's easy. Yeah, we know how to stop that. Because you can't. It's just as simple as that. You can't. You sit there, you hope and you pray, but you can't do it because there's just so much speed and there's so much big playability. So I'm telling you, South Florida, Miami, FAMU, Georgia, Florida State. You are the 5 opponents on schedule for the Florida Gators in 2025 right now. You better get some track stars for 2024 and 2025 if you can't get 2024, because let me tell you, Florida's trying to run you off the field. Okay? Make sure you're ready for it because they've just speed. They are speed. Okay? Thanks for making Locked On Gators your first listen of the day every day. We are available daily and free wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll be back tomorrow. You know we will. We're talking more Florida Gators. For Locked On Gators, I'm Brandon Olsen. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at WNS_Brandon. Find all my written work with Whole 9 Sports, Giants Country, NFL 33, and I will see all of you tomorrow.